Have you ever noticed how you can't even watch someone cook pasta anymore without wondering, is this supposed to turn me on? Somewhere along the way, everyday life got very seductive. Cooking became sensual, eating became intimate, makeup became foreplay, working out stopped being about health and started looking like a soft corn commercial. And I'm not saying every attractive person making content online is trying to be sexy, because I promise y'all, I'm just existing. But I am starting to notice how everything has X appeal now. Yes, I am going to say X throughout the entirety of this video because we are here on YouTube and I want my points. I don't even know what people are selling half of the time because I don't know if they're selling them or if they're selling a physical product. So that's what we're going to be talking about in today's commentary. For example, take a look at this commercial. What would you say the purpose of this commercial was? I would say ping. They're selling eggplants, because what is the reason for you to be gyrating in front of cameras? You get what I mean? I would have never guessed in 1,000 years that this is a Verizon commercial. He's selling plans and products and a price, but this is Verizon. We've all heard the phrase that X sells. Before, X used to sell lingerie and anything that had to do with the male gaze. But nowadays, people are trying to use X as the marketing tactic for everything. You would think as women we've moved away from this, but everyone and everything is overly freaked out. We're going to take a look at this first campaign by a creator named Jada. She sells cosmetic products and I also believe she has a clothing brand. She did a campaign not too long ago trying to advertise. Well, actually, I'm not even going to tell you guys what she's trying to advertise. We're going to watch the video and you let me know. Like, say if you don't know her at all, what would you think she would be trying to sell? Let's watch the ad. What is she selling? What do you think she's selling? I would have thought that she was selling X. If I had no prior knowledge of her and her brand, I would have thought she's clearly selling a swimsuit or she's selling X. She's definitely selling something that has to do with the male gaze. I would have never guessed in a million years that she was selling lip gloss. Like, even the placement of the lip gloss, why would you put the lip gloss in between your tatas? Like, why would that be a place for you to advertise lip gloss? We already get distracted easy. I got ADHD, so the fact that you place the lip gloss here, that just lets you know that that's the whole vocal point of the campaign. It's meant to be sensual. It's meant to sell X rather than the physical product. And another part of me kind of feels like maybe she's selling the idea to people that if you buy my product, you can also be attractive like me, because this is not the first campaign that she's received backlash or confusion. Everybody in the comment section was just like, girl, what are you selling at this point? Like, are you selling the hair? Are you selling the swimsuit? Are you selling the BBL? Like, what exactly are you selling? Like, why would that be the vocal point? And it's cosmetic, it's makeup. It's not even a time to appeal to the male gaze. Like, I do get some products you're appealing. If you're selling OF, you're appealing to the male gaze. If you're selling maybe something that has to do with X, it would make sense. But you're selling a cosmetic product to women. Why would you want men stopping in their tracks and clicking on this video? Because all they can see is the cheeks. You just cheeked up in a pool, oiled up, trying to sell lip gloss. It doesn't connect. Another campaign that she did was, I think last year, she got a lot of backlash. She came out with a new swimsuit, and this was the campaign for that swimsuit.
what you want, but something about this advertisement is not right. Now, I understand that Jada is trying to sell bikinis, and she's like, I'm a full-time mom, I'm a full-time entrepreneur, but having your son and his friend take your bikini top and go throw it in the water as a way of being like, oh, kids just do the darndest things is not okay. It's not okay. You could have hired anybody to do this.
Y'all see what I'm talking about? Just overly freaked out. And a lot of people was mad at Jada because apparently the little boy in the video was her son. So they were just like, why would you be nude around your son? They just didn't like that. They felt like it was inappropriate for her to have a child, let alone her child, in the ad. But my focus was, I did not know what she was selling because you overly freaked out. Like, who idea was this to say, let me go ahead and advertise my bikini line, my bikini release, by taking the bikini off and barely showing the bikini? It just seems like the focal point was more so about childhood and the body. Like, the body was the focus because I couldn't focus on anything else. I'm like, is she tanning? Like, is it there? Like, I was confused. And I also want to show y'all an opinion of somebody that says that they have background in advertising and communications, and this is what they said about it. And I agree. Like, there's so many other ways that she could have advertised this, but instead X is always the first point in marketing. Like, the first thing they think is, let me use X to sell this. And in actuality, we're all just confused.
I have a degree in communication, and we had to take a couple advertisement classes. And in those classes, we had to, watch commercials and watch ads and figure out what exactly is someone selling. And in Jada Waiter's swimsuit ad, to me, looking at this as a communication student, it's not clear to me what she's selling. Are you selling sex? Are you selling the swimwear? Are you selling the towel? Are you selling the kid's swim trunk? I'm confusion. Somebody on Twitter said that Jada said I shouldn't have to explain art. That's not art, baby. It looks like I don't have a creative director or a creative bone in my body, and I'm on some weird budget. Let's just do this. And it looked like y'all just threw something together at the last minute. It looked like y'all probably had something else planned, but it was the photographer. You was on everybody else's time.
Okay. And then there's food. I never understood why people like to watch people eat. Like, I don't get it. I do know that there's discussions online about people saying certain content can tap into sensory pleasure. Like, it's no different than a person wanting to watch somebody bust a pimple. I know that that's some type of niche that people like. Like, my mom's a person that would like to pop people's pimples. Like, there's just something intriguing about that to her. And I kind of correlate that with food. Like, people are just really intrigued with people eating food because it just taps into their sensory pleasure. Like, it just provides them some type of pleasure. And I try not to judge just because I don't understand it, but the fact that people are making food and mukbangs actual, it's just crazy to me. Like, what about food gives actual? Like, let's just get into the video, y'all, and I'm gonna try to make it through this part, because even me putting together this video and watching small bits of these clips, I was just like, what about this is attractive? Like, is the food good? Like, I don't even know if the food is good anymore. I thought people used to watch food reviews so they can find out if they wanted to try something, but no, they have even turned that into foreplay.
I love them.
Today we're making buttery lobster rolls topped with caviar. With a pair of scissors, I started off by cutting my lobster tail shells before removing the meat and chopping it up. I then melted 1 stick of Kerrygold butter before chopping up some parsley and adding that into my butter. Next, I incorporated in my lobster along with some seasonings, making sure to poach it on low for the next 5 minutes to avoid overcooking. I moved on to
And the craziest thing about that, y'all, people were saying that she's now 19, but apparently she's been doing these food reviews since she was 16. So she was making, because I'm gonna say this is explicit content, y'all. If that didn't make you feel uncomfortable, you nasty, because it probably meant that it turned you on. But I don't know, y'all, I love seafood, but I don't even like seafood. Like, after eating that, I wouldn't even want to eat seafood for a while, because that's just disgusting. Like, how are we turning it sexy? And then she captioned the video, I don't know if the place is named this or not, and even if then they need to be investigated. The name of the place is Boil Daddy Seafood. Boil Daddy? Why are we calling daddy and seafood? Like, where's the correlation with that? And this is not the only thing that she sexualized. Like, I can see how you can make, I don't understand. I don't understand how you can make eating seafood sexy, because it's already a nasty type of food. Like, they're the roaches of the sea. But then on top of that, she is making eating a chicken wing intimate and sensual. Look at this. Okay, I can't watch no more of it, but her entire page is dedicated to her eating seafood, very sensual. And what I've noticed is anytime you would click on the comments, the women were utterly disgusted, because why are you smacking like that? Like, is the food good? Like, it sounds like she put the camera in her mouth, y'all, and I don't even see a mic on her, and she's like, that's why I can't watch people eat food, because smacking, that's just a no-no to me. But the fact that she has created an entire niche of her just eating food actual, and it's just like, what about food is actual? Like, I don't know, y'all, it's weird. And if you thought that was even weird, this next one had me just like in disbelief, because I used to do pottery. Like, pottery was a hobby of mine until it just got too expensive. Now most pottery classes cost upward of $200, and then it takes about 30 plus days to get your item back. So I stopped doing pottery for a while. But I would have never in a million years thought you can turn pottery into something that's actual. Like, I never would have thought that would have been a niche, but unfortunately it is. Check this out. Y'all see what I'm saying? When I did pottery, I used to do it with an oversized shirt on, and then I used to also have apron on and gloves on, because it's just such a messy hobby. But y'all done made this sensual. Like, people are getting turned on by watching somebody create crafts with pottery. Like, I don't know, y'all, we just overly freaked out with everything. And when you go to the comments, it's this general consensus of, I'm turned on, or I feel uncomfortable, or this should have been a private section between you and yourself. Like, you didn't have to film this, but that was the intent. The intent is to sell eggs. Like, they're not even selling the pottery, they're selling eggs. And then I always get confused, because I can understand if there's a common goal when you're creating actual content. I understand that 101% when you're selling X. If you're selling it, it makes sense. But when you go on their pages, they don't even have OF pages. They're literally selling the product. Like, this lady is selling her crafts, and it's just like, I'm not even interested in buying your craft. I'm more interested if you have an OF link just by the type of content. It's crazy. And if y'all thought that was crazy, gardening, y'all, they have turned gardening into X. People are selling X with gardening content. Look at this. Well, you know you want to mingle, but you're so good, I should never be single. Well, you know you want to mingle, but you're so good, I should never be single. We love the way I thought.
Time to get my handy dandy gloves on. How many times have I used these gloves? Not ever, not once. I just refound them, and I'm so excited to finally use them. They're so cute. I am selectively weeding out things that I don't want in my garden, but there are things that I think I planted last year that I definitely still want there, but it's honestly tough to say. So I'm just taking out what I think. I just got to be patient. Patience is not my strong suit, but here we go. Oh, she's the best chicken. She always helps me garden. I hope you have a happy Monday.
I've made some additions to my little herb garden here, and honestly, I'm so excited about this. These are just grocery store green onions. When you're like chop them down to like the white part of the green onion, just plant them in a bit of soil and water, and you will get green onion sprouts probably 4 or 5 more times. So I have only purchased green onions I think twice this year, because I just keep growing them and I eat them daily. I love them, like just sprinkled on top of everything.
Yo, the angles, the clothes, like she was trying so hard to look like she's interested in gardening, but really all she is selling is X appeal. And I honestly think it's the platform's fault. Platform rewards X appeal. If she posted that same exact video, because I see other people, my grandmother posts gardening content and she getting 2 in views. She's getting negative views when she posts this type of content because it's not packaged in X appeal. If you package it a certain way, it's going to do well, which is also ironic because TikTok is advertised as a kid-friendly app, but if you go on there, there is so many actual content on there for no reason. Like everything is overly freaked out. And I'm going to show y'all one more example of the gardening content because again, I thought this was just a one-off case. I seen somebody else talking about it saying like, why are y'all HOEs taking over the gardening space? Like, why are y'all becoming the garden tools that we talk about? But no, it is a whole genre on TikTok of people being overtly actual in gardening. Like, it's a niche of its own, y'all. It's kind of crazy.
Did you know that you can grow your own vegetable garden inside? All these plants you see here started from seed. All they need is light, water, and a fan. I don't know if you know this.
Y'all, nothing is safe. The plants ain't safe. The tomatoes ain't safe. Cooking ain't safe. I found this creator over on TikTok as well, and I'm honestly so surprised that her page is not banned because the content, it's beyond. Like, it's literally soft corn, y'all. The videos I'm going to share in this video, these are the most conservative ones, just to say the least, y'all. These are conservative compared to the other videos. How are we making cooking actual? And I watch cooking videos all the time, and it's not even just women videos, it's men videos. They splashing, squeezing, peeling, licking. It's a lot. I would have bought the recipe without you doing all of that. But let me show y'all what I'm talking about.
Today we're making the French dish aligot. To start, I peeled and diced some golden yukon potatoes before boiling in hot salted water until fork tender, making sure to set some water from the potatoes aside. Next, I mashed my potatoes using a ricer, but quickly realized they wouldn't be smooth enough, so I pushed them through a mesh strainer. I then grated some Gruyere cheese and set that aside. Next, I infused some heavy cream with the garlic clove before removing it. And now it's time to incorporate the potatoes, some butter, a bit of nutmeg, and now slowly the Gruyere cheese, also adding in the reserved water during the process. It's very important to stir vigorously to ensure that the cheese and potatoes melt together. Once you've achieved your desired texture, it's time to plate and serve. And now we've made aligot.
And this creator has over 1 million followers on TikTok, and I honestly believe the algorithm has figured out what's going to keep people watching. They know if they add just the tiniest bit of X appeal, people are going to watch longer. People are going to be confused. They're going to be intrigued. So they're going to continue making this type of content. But like I said, I don't think things were as bad as it is now. Like, I can't scroll online without seeing just regular ads. Like, even commercial ads are starting to make things actual. Look at this Cheez-It ad. I don't know if y'all remember this Cheez-It ad, but this came out, I believe, a couple years ago, and people were mad about it because they thought it had something to do with the Epstein files and people associating children with being sexy and salty, and they made a spicy commercial that didn't have anything to do. Like, I would have still bought Cheez-Its if you didn't do this. Like, let's just watch the ad. It doesn't even make sense at all, and it's just like, I wish it connect. Like, if it connect, maybe I would say, okay, well, at least it makes sense. But the advertisement doesn't even make sense. It becomes comical at some point. Everything doesn't have to be actual. Like, in order for me to buy into a hobby of gardening, cooking, shopping, pottery, I don't have to see sexiness in it. Like, you could be wearing a brown bag on your face, and if you have good art, I would still watch it. But a lot of times they know that they're selling to the male gaze and being a slave to the algorithm. That's why they continue to make this type of content. But let me go ahead and play this ad just in case y'all never seen it.
That is a cheesy little baby. Yummy. Ooh, what a salty little boy.
So it's a boy?
Want it, need it, cheese it.
Yeah, big companies are catching on. They're following everything that people do on social media. Nobody's really watching cable and TV like that. So they're just following like what's getting the most engagement. Engagement equals more money. We all know that you don't have to have good content to get engagement. You just have to keep people on these apps longer, because that's how they make their money. So of course, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, they're going to allow it. Although they claim that YouTube, TikTok, and these apps are like kid friendly, but y'all allow the craziest things to go on. Before, it was very subtle. Like, here and there you would see people doing, you know, overly freakish thing with non-actual items and hobbies, but now it's becoming that way with everything. There's even book talk has even got actual people are on there doing like voiceovers and reading it in a very seductive tone, and I'm just like, does everything have to appeal to the male gaze? Like, I understand they the ones that's keeping people on these apps and X is a part of life, but why do y'all have to associate everything with X? Do y'all think I'm tripping, or have y'all also noticed on y'all timeline that everything has become overly freaked out and actual? And it's becoming really noticeable because it's things that don't have anything to do with X. Like, how does cooking become actual? Like, it just don't make any sense. But don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see y'all in my next commentary.